Like all experiments, humans didn't take risks, and for the first time, they sent oppressed animals into space. And maybe if they didn't send animals, no human would have taken such risks and helped advance science. Interestingly, the first living thing to go into space was not humans and monkeys, it was a dog. Hello guys, welcome to Land of Animals. Today we are going to travel to space and see the history of the animals that first went into space. And whether or not they came back alive. If you like this video, like it, and I'd love to have you subscribe to our channel. Well, the first animal sent into space was a dog named Laika. A stray dog from Moscow, Russia, Laika was part of a Soviet space program mission called Sputnik 2, launched on November 3, 1957. Laika's trip to Sputnik 2 took about 4 to 7 hours. The spacecraft was not designed to recover, and unfortunately, there were no plans for Laika to return to Earth. He was not expected to survive due to his failure to re-enter the mission. Laika's mission provided valuable information on the effects of space travel on living organisms, including the physiological and psychological stresses experienced in space. His dedication paved the way for further advances in animal and human spaceflight. Unfortunately, his journey was irreversible. Of course, the first creatures to be launched into space were insects that were launched in 1947 with a reconstructed V-2 rocket, and exploded at an altitude of 68 miles above the surface, which was not very interesting. In later years, NASA, or the American General Directorate of Aeronautics and Space, sent several monkeys, Albert 1, 2, 3, 4, along with surveillance equipment. However, all these animals were killed. The scientists then managed to send a monkey named Yurik into space, along with 11 mice, and bring it back to Earth alive. But all this was sent to the Earth's atmosphere. The first animals sent outside the Earth's atmosphere were two dogs, Belka and Strelka, which were launched into space on August 19, 1960, and returned alive a day later. In 1968, the Soviet Union launched a spacecraft to orbit the moon. Two turtles and several insects and worms were present on the spacecraft. After that, scientists continued to send frogs, cats, and spiders into space. But when humans set foot on the moon in 1969, the role of animals in space faded. Now attention has been drawn to sending animals to Mars. I'm going to introduce a movie about this called Terra for Mars. The story of this film is that after global warming, scientists of the 21st century were given the task of finding a solution to prevent global warming so that humans could continue to live on its surface. After a lot of research, they finally came up with a useful and expensive program, and that was sending cockroaches and mold on Mars so that mold could absorb sunlight and the bodies of those insects would be their food source. Now it's 2577, and the first manned ship lands on the surface of Mars with 6 crew members. But what they find there is a very large, very powerful transformed beetle, and that group of 6 is easily killed. But before the last of them dies, it sends an emergency message to Earth. And now humanity sends a task force to destroy them and retake Mars. So, we've come to the end of the video. Do you think with that explanations, it's right to sacrifice animals for progress? Thanks for watching this video.
I got broads in Atlanta.